What's up, guys? We're gonna do a quick install on this 2014 Dodge 3500 Ram. It's a 6.7 Cummins turbo diesel. We're going to be replacing this intake. We're going to be putting a new intake on it. This is the air filter we're installing. It's by S&B. This is the part number in case you guys have a 6.7 and want to do the same thing to yours. Go ahead and get started by opening this up and seeing what's inside. All right, guys, inside the box we got some paper. This right here looks like our air box. We have our filter in there as well. Some kind of rubber grommet. Our intake tube. Another rubber grommet. Some more rubber grommets. Another rubber grommet coupling. Not sure what this is. It's plastic though. Something for the filter. Some stickers. Nice stickers. More plastic parts. More rubber grommets. Ooh, sensors and stuff too. Well, at least the harnesses. Sounds good, guys. And this is just a newsletter, I guess. More products. But that's everything that's going to be installed in this truck. And to get started, first we're going to remove the old air box. So we're going to need to remove this 13mm here. If you would like, if you don't have to remove the whole, like the filter and everything. We're gonna unhook it here. Of course, unhook your sensors. Start doing that now. So y'all have a little locking tab. Get something skinny. Just kind of pull it up. Be gentle because these will break. Also, I'm recording while trying to show y'all this, so it's kind of hard doing it one-handed. Let me put y'all down. All right, so I got that clip to slide up. I had to put y'all down, sorry. I can't record and work at the same time. I don't have a stand, but got that unhooked. This one, just push down, wiggle it off. That's unhooked. So those are your two sensors. All right, so you see in the 13 here, you see it goes connected to this duct here. We might have to remove the grill, looking like, to be able to access this, or we might be able to get away with just removing this. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this and remove this bolt, and let me see what else is holding out this air box, and I'll let you know. I'm doing this with regular old hand tools, just good old ratchet and some sockets, just to show y'all you don't need nothing fancy to get the job done. You know, even if you just have wrenches will work. Might take you a little longer. You know, make do with what you got. Make sure you save your bolts, know where they go. Once you loosen this 8mm right here, just push the rubber back. Now we have this bolt loose here. Trying to take a look and see where else it's being held in at. Y'all see any bolts down there? I see this another connector down there. I'm gonna try to get this off. I'm gonna put y'all down. All right, so we're able to get the air box up and out. It does take some force to be able to get it off. It's held in by rubber grommets right here where these little nipples are. So you have to pry up a little bit of force. Once it's loose, you should be able to wiggle it out. This corner here is gonna get caught on this metal line here. So just gotta kind of wiggle it out, and then you can get the air box out. But before you get the air box out, make sure you disconnect this connector here. Push in. I'm gonna have to set y'all down. I cannot record and work. All right, once you get that disconnected, you have that little clip there that goes here. Kind of got to pry that off, and now your air box is out. We'll set that aside. Now we have our nice little working area, and those are those grommets I was talking about where they go in. Clean this up a little bit here. I don't want any of that going in. All right, we're gonna continue to remove this tube here. I'm gonna try to get this clamp down here. That way I take it off as a whole. All right, so I loosened up that clamp. This part of the intake tube slid out. I'll set that aside. And before I take this off, I'm gonna take a look at the instructions, which I should have done that before. And because it does come with quite a few pieces. All right, so it looks like we got to scan this code to look at the instructions. Unfortunately, I won't be able to show you the instructions, but I'll do my best to try to explain how this is going to work out and how it's going to install. I think it should be pretty easy, but I'll get back to you as soon as I take a look at the instructions. All right, next step, we're going to undo this clamp, move it down, get this hose off of this metal hose, and we're also going to loosen that 8mm bolt for this clamp so we can get this whole thing out. All right, so now that you got that hose clamp moved down, you just give the hose a twist to break it free, and then you should be able to pull it down like that. All right, now I just gotta get the 8mm bolt, and I'll take this whole thing out from the turbo. Once you have that clamp loose, just wiggle it off, and there you have that section of the intake. Now we have our turbo here, nice and bare. Has this silencer ring here. Unfortunately, we can't take that off unless we drill it. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and put the new one on. All right, the first piece you're gonna get is this rubber grommet, this little extension piece, and then you're gonna get both your band clamps. Make sure your screws are facing the direction in which you can access them. That's gonna slide on there, like so, and then we're gonna tighten this one, and then we're gonna put that black tube on this end, and once we have it lined up, we're gonna tighten this other clamp. All right, then you get this tube here. You also get this black silicone tube and these two hose clamps. One's gonna be smaller and this one's bigger. And then you're gonna go ahead, put the hose, this hose on this tube, tighten this up. And once we have this in here, we're gonna tighten this up. And then this hose is gonna go on here. And then we're gonna tighten this clamp up. Good. Good. And also just remember, you can make sure you access this one. This one, I suggest you tighten it right now that it's out. Unfortunately, I don't have a 1/4 inch handy right now, but luckily it does also take a Phillips, so we're gonna go ahead and tighten these with the Phillips. All right, so we got this in. One part that I did mess up on is this tube, this rubber here. It's best to install it on this outside before you put this tube in. I tried to install it while it was on the turbo. It was a little difficult. This made it easier. We just gotta connect that hose there, right there. And then I can tighten this clamp, and then also have to tighten this clamp over here on the turbo. All right, everything is nice and tight. Give it a wiggle, make sure it's good. Now we're gonna move on to the air box. Our next steps are to remove our sensors, and we're gonna transfer them over to the new this new airbox. We're also going to remove these. You will need Torx screw sockets or Allen or Torx screw wrenches is what to remove these 4 bolts. And that should be it for this airbox. So remove these 2, remove that, and the big one is going to go on the bottom here, and these 2 are going to go on your intake. And they do come with gaskets, so make sure you put your gaskets on there. Your gaskets, and it also comes with screws. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to start with this one. So we have our gasket, our screw, and the sensor. First is going to be, well, easiest part would probably be to put the gasket on the sensor. I'm doing this one-handed while holding the phone. There we go. There you line up that bolt hole, and then you put your sensor over here like so. Line up that bolt hole. This does have a rubber gasket here. This green O-ring. Kind of lube it up a little bit with something. Put some spit. I mean, oil. Who knows? I'm gonna do some spit. Just to help it slide into this hole easy. Kind of want to hold the intake. We're just gonna screw that in. Screwdriver here. All right, got it's on there. Make sure you do not over tighten. Just literally just snug it up. Like, you don't even got to put pressure on it. Just literally as soon as you see it start to go down a little bit, that's it. Do not want to over tighten that, because this is plastic. This will break. So we're gonna do this one now. Same thing, gasket and screws and the sensor. We're gonna put the gasket on here, like so. Make sure it goes under the O-ring. And you got your screws, and you're gonna put it like so. Go this way, like so. And whenever you connect it, this one will go here, that one will go over there. All right, guys. Unfortunately, guys, I couldn't record what I was doing. My phone died. Plus, I got a little lost in what I had to do next. But where we left off was we put these sensors on with the new gaskets and the new screws. We just had to connect them. That one's clicked in, lock it. This one over here. That one's clicked in. All right. So while the camera was off, I was working on this intake. So on the airbox. So this airbox, you have this rubber grommet, this rubber grommet, and this rubber grommet that you're going to install in the airbox. You are also going to put together this cover here with this arm here. It's going to look like this. All right, make sure you have this. It's going to look like this. So it's going to go like this. All right, so you assemble that as well. Comes with screws and nuts. And then the last thing I had to do, which was probably the hardest part, was remove this from here. So you do have your 4 Torx screws, which are these here. I'm gonna put them back because we don't need them and I don't want to lose them. So I removed these 4 screws. And this was a little bit difficult to remove. I will explain why here in a second. So this piece was difficult to remove because it has a shaft, and that shaft goes into that hole there, which is this butterfly here, this butterfly wing here. And essentially, to remove it, once you have these 4 screws loose, you want to grab a hold of this plastic and you want to twist it while at the same time twisting the motor. And you're gonna also pull them apart. So you're gonna twist and pull this part from this, and then once you get that off, you get your motor. It came with new screws, so you get this screw, the washer, and the spacer. Then you put it in here, and then this part here has a flat side. This flat side here is gonna match up with the flat side here. So it's gonna go like so. Let's press it in place. There we go. And then this is basically, whenever this actuates, it's either going to cover this hole or this hole. So it'll swing or it'll open, and that's it. So that's the airbox. And then we just take this airbox, line it up in here. It has these 2 little nipples there for the grommets, and then you just bolt it down here. But let me do that and then we'll get back to y'all. All right, I got it in. I ran into another little hiccup. So basically, you want to install this tube with this airbox at the same time, or else you won't be able to get this tube in through this hole. So that is something that you want to do. is install it at the same time, but we do have it installed now. Everything is tight. It's tight on the turbo. Everything is secure. Sensors are connected. This is connected as well. We just got to put the filter on and seal it up. All right, filter is installed. It does come with the clamp. You just loosen it, slip the filter on, tighten up the clamp, give it a wiggle, make sure it's not going to come off, and then we just seal up the air box, and that is it. So to seal up the air box, you have this rubber grommet. This big slit here is going to go around the air box, and then on the inside you have a slit for this glass. So we're going to go ahead and install this. Let's get that big lip in there, like so. All right, and we're going to unwrap this and put it in the inner lip. All right, guys, it does have a direction, so just how I have it is like that, with the logo facing forward, and then you just gotta work it in to this right there. Just like everything else I was doing wrong, you want to put the rubber on the glass first, and then you want to work it in like so. Yep. Just push it down, and it's nice and sealed. All right, guys, now we have our S&B intake installed into our 2014 6.7. I hope you were able to learn something from this install. Please forgive me for having a couple hiccups here and there. Please learn from my mistakes, read the instructions first. And yeah, if you guys are looking to get this S&B filter, it does look nice. It is very nice. It is a very nice filter kit. Comes with an enclosure, very nice. It also comes with stickers that I'm going to install. And yeah, guys, I just got to put this one bolt in, but that's pretty much it. That is the install for the 6.7 air intake from S&B. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. We're gonna do a little sound clip for the fellas, and I do want to advise, my truck does have a custom exhaust, so if yours is stock, it probably won't sound like this, but just a little noise for the guys. Ronky. Give it a little bit of throttle, see if we hear a little turbo whistle. So you don't really hear the air filter sucking, you know, that jet noise. But you do hear the engine like sucking more air, it's breathing better. So this is a good filter, looks nice. Put that little chrome sticker on there, put the S&B sticker on the back. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the install. See you.